Mike Sparrow here on Sparrow over London on BBC Radio London. First off, I've come out on location to, of all places, Vauxhall Cross, which apparently is London's, indeed Europe's, busiest traffic crossing. It certainly feels like it today, and looks like it, and probably sounds like it. Now, here at Vauxhall Cross, an extraordinary event is taking place. A 96-foot-long hoarding is being done in graffiti by the top New York graffiti artist, who's called T-Kid. T-Kid, hi.
How you doing there, dude?
If I can just stop you spraying for a second. This big design here, I know it's a promotion for a new tape from a tape company. What was your starting point?
My starting point was the actual letters, TDK, and then I put a ghetto blaster, which is what we call a box. I put that, like the name coming out of the box there. And that was my basic starting point. And then from there on, I get that down packed and I start working all around it and bringing that to life.
Now, you previously worked in New York, which means presumably you're responsible for those amazing drawings on the subway trains.
Yeah, I was responsible for those, but I had to give it up, you know? And I'm trying to get it into a legal and positive frame, you know? And I want everybody to think as graffiti as art and not as vandalism.
Well, that's interesting you should say that, because here in London, London Regional Transport really cracked down just recently on some people who tried to do a train in East London, because they don't see it as art, I'm afraid. They do see it as vandalism. Yeah, well, what's your opinion on it?
My opinion is out here, you know, you don't have so many graffiti writers to really go out and bomb the trains, and I feel they shouldn't. You know, if they're going to do something, they should do it on walls and be commissioned or something for it, because you guys got a beautiful transportation system. In fact, I'm envious of it, you know? I'm glad to actually get on a train where it's clean, you know? And I really appreciate that. Back in the States, you know, I used to bomb the trains, and now that I'm working for the city over there, I see what the people mean when the windows are all covered up and you miss your stop, you know?
You have a day job as well in New York?
Yes, sir, man. I'm a city painter. I paint offices and centers and all kind of stuff for the cops, you know? And by day I paint their offices, and by night I used to paint their trains. So I was working for the city 24 hours.
Now, you've become legal now in New York,
yeah,
I know.
I'm legal, yeah, totally legal.
Something called no more trains.
Oh, yeah, no more.
What does that mean?
Okay, no more trains means no more trains. When I take kids that got busted from graffiti, right, they used to send them down to my program, and every once in a while they still do. What I do is take them and put them to do some positive community work, where it's like cleaning up buildings and stuff, hallways that have been tagged up. That's where they write in the hallway. Buildings that have been tagged up, and I have them prepare surfaces for me, like whitewash a wall, which means paint a wall so I could paint a mural on it. And then also, while I'm painting the mural, like I'll tell them to paint in a certain spot, a certain color, they'll go and do it, you know? What
sort of interest have you got here this morning? I mean, it's very different for Londoners to see a New York graffiti artist at work.
Oh, really, man? Well, I've been trying to ignore everybody and try to get into my work, you know? And so far, I feel like I've gotten a good reaction here so far, you know? Everybody's been thrilled about it, you know? And I just hope I don't let nobody down.
It's beginning to look very good.
Yes, folks, today is D for Dynamic Day.
For my money, it's the definitive cassette.
I think absolutely delicious!
Welcome to a new D from an old DJ.
No doubt about it, it's a demon product.
Demonstrably, delectably, and undeniably divine, my dear.
Have you tried the new D cassette from TDK yet?
It's the business!
Step right up. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, move closer and bear witness to the one who cuts on not one, not two, but 3 turntables, known throughout the 4 corners of the world as the fastest man alive. 1, 2, 3, up, up, up. 3, 2. He's the fastest man alive. 1, 2, 3. Cut it up, Flash. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 2, 1. He's the fastest man alive. 1, 2, 3. Oh, get it. In the slum, but he was raised high and mighty to be #1. The Parks was his stage, cause didn't exist, and everybody was invited to be a witness. the South Bronx street, known for great beats of skill and technique. He's the priest of the beats, the king of the scratch, and all the rest are just a product of wax. He's the fastest man alive. Cut it up, Blast. He's the fastest man alive. Breakdown. Pull up your seats. Class is in session. The master's gonna teach you all a good lesson. It's an open invitation. Despite what you've heard, and the first to come will be the first served. Perpetrated the fraud. Said that you was the best. Tried to fool the public and lied to the press. You wasn't even all that. Way back in the past. When you know you learn all you know from Flash. He's the fastest man alive.
Grandmaster Flash, the fastest man alive. You're listening to Capital Radio 95.8 FM. I'm Mike Allen. My special guest is T-Kid. Reckoned to be, without any question, of the elite when it comes to graffiti artists in New York. Now, we've been talking a bit, T-Kid, about then. What about now? What's happening in New York at the moment? Is that enthusiasm still there?
The enthusiasm is still there. The determination from us older writers is still there. Most of your new writers, you know. MTA is making it a lot harder for people to go and write. But us old writers, we still got that.
That's the Metropolitan Transit Authority.
Yeah, you got that right, yeah.
So what's the attitude they've got to guys such as yourself now? Is this open warfare?
Yeah, it's totally open warfare, and you know, they're losing. You know, they're really losing.
Because there was a truce call, wasn't there, at some stage, and then they had this new paint process going over the trains, which was alleged, this grey stuff, the grey death.
The grey death, they got rid of all the grey trains and painted them white, and then you hear Koch openly in mid saying that's the worst thing he could have done. Because when he painted them trains white, it was just like putting a canvas on them for us. You know, and then he made them double fences with dogs running through them. And
yes, I saw all that.
Yeah, well, that doesn't stop nobody, you know. That doesn't stop us. I mean, we're really determined, man. We jump over them fences, we cut through them fences. You know, we avoid the dogs, of course, who wants to get bit, you know.
Sure.
So we would just go in through the front of the yards, you know, and find all kind of ways to get in, man. You know, we really outsmarted them.
You're going to give me a couple of clues?
They got certain areas, like roofs and stuff, where they can't put the dogs, okay? The double fences, or certain, like, embankments where it's not possible. And we would actually, like, climb through the side, like, of a river, for yards along the river, or if it's elevated, we come right through the middle of the yard, cut some boards out, and just go up through there, you know, and make holes through the fences, you know, cut this Constantine wire that they have. It's very easy to cut with a pair of pliers, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah, man, it's so simple. Or we just throw boards over them and flatten the wires down and like cross them like that. You know?
The worst thing they could have ever done is actually make a movie like Rambo, because everyone can get a couple of wires.
That's right, you got that right, bro.
Now, that's what's happening at the moment. You can't repress the enthusiasm and the inclination to get out there. I've seen your name on a carriage, the whole of a carriage. So you must have been a king of the line.
I became the best in style, man. I mean, at first, you know, I wasn't too sure who the best was, you know. And a lot of good writers stopped writing, you know. And then I just kept doing it. I was determined, and I kept doing it. And my works kept getting bigger and bigger and fancier and more colorful and more wilder, you know. Mm-hmm. After everybody gave up, I kept going, and I got my crew together, TMB, TAT, and we all wild style, you know. We're all down with that. And we just get together and, you know, we don't really plan things out, like what we're gonna do. But we go in there and we talk to each other. We say, well, what are we gonna do? And we say, well, we're just gonna burn everybody. And when I say burn everybody, I mean, I'm talking about doing the best thing out there. And right now in New York City, TAT, TNB, Wild Style is the best. And there's no doubt about that. Anybody listening and they know Henry Chalfant, who is the entrepreneur of graffiti art, can call him up, write to him, and ask this question, and he will tell you right now, at this moment, I am the nastiest.